So hey, awesome ones. You know, the other day I was thinking about this community and I was looking at some of the comments and thinking, these are great people. And also some of the comments, because I did kind of pour my heart out a little bit at one time, and I told you about how just recently I've lost my mother-in-law, who I did love, and also my younger brother. And I started looking at the comments, and so many of you have lost loved ones, especially in the last year. And I was thinking to myself, well, it's one of those topics that really a lot of people don't address, but I thought, hey, we're all friends here. Why don't I talk about it a little bit? And I want to talk about my own experience, but I hope that somehow you find maybe something there that helps you to heal. And we'll talk about before the loss, and we'll talk about when the loss happens. And I'm also going to talk about how to heal, how do you get on a road to recovery. And I want this to be something that we all share together. And you know, go ahead and let us know if you've lost a loved one recently, or you know, how you're getting through it and what is helping, because this is a time, this is the kind of video where we all really should talk to each other, where we'll find a support system for each other and maybe a shoulder to kind of just lean against and say, you know what? Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. And thank you, all of you, for being there for me when I was writing on Instagram or mentioning it in a video. You mean the world to me, and I hope that this video is somehow, some way I can give back to you. All right, so most of you know that I lost my mom when I was in my 20s, and what happened with her was basically she got a brain tumor, and we were told she had less than a year to live. And so there's the shock. That's the shock that just settles in. And I really thought that by visiting her, I was going to be able to solve the problem. She was going to get all better. She was going to walk out of the hospital. And so I visited her every other day for about 8 months. It didn't help, and I didn't understand why it didn't help, and she passed away. As a result, I don't know if you've been through this, but I couldn't stop crying. I could hardly even breathe. And then I thought of all the things that I was going to miss with her. And my mom and I, we were really, really close. And she was gone. And so I had to find a way to really help myself through this. And 40 years later, she's my guardian angel. And a lot of you might say, okay, I don't know if I can believe in that or whatever. But again, I just hope you find some golden nuggets in all of this. And that's my golden nugget. I feel her around me. I feel her soul. I don't believe that we're kind of gone and our bodies are all gone and that's it, finished. I believe that our soul is still out there. And so that is the way that my mom really, really helped me. And you know what? The other thing is, after she passed away at the funeral, a lot of people would come up to me and say, well, she's in a better place. And I just wanted to say, don't say that. You know, like, she's supposed to be with me. She's not supposed to be there. She's supposed to be here. And you got to deal with the well-meaning people, the people that they don't even know what to say. And you might even start to hold something against somebody because they said the wrong thing at the funeral. But when my mother-in-law passed away, I can tell you that during the losing part, she had Alzheimer's, and it's a different kind of losing. It's a loss of a person before they're even gone. And she just passed away, as most of you know, just actually a couple of months ago. And it was, again, maybe another 8 months, but it was a different kind of 8 months. It was something that we just knew was coming. We knew that the doctors were right. I did all my work on it as well. I studied what Alzheimer's was. I knew the anger stages, and I knew that that was okay, that she wasn't really angry at me. The disease was hurting her and changing her. And then, you know, when we finally got that call, when we answered the call, I hate to say it, but I just kind of thought to myself, she is in a better place. And that's the difference, you know, and this is what I'm trying to say is all my different experiences, I'm hoping that it helps, that you can sort of say, well, I didn't feel the guilt and the big sorrow and everything else, and so I feel ashamed, but sometimes it's different. It really is different. And with my brother, he passed away. I didn't even really realize, you know how sometimes your siblings don't even tell you that they're sick? I didn't realize he was that sick. And of course, with the hospitals and everything, nobody was allowed to visit him. And yeah, I got a call from my sister and he was gone. And that's the shock one. I still, to be honest with you, and maybe there's a little bit of shame here as well, I don't even believe he's gone. We haven't even had a funeral for him. We haven't been allowed to have people congregate together. And it's just like, I'm in disbelief. I don't believe it. And you know what? That's okay too. We all kind of go at our own pace with this journey. And I think that's an important thing to say. But, you know, I talked about the time when you're losing them, the time when you lost them, and all the different feelings. But there's just one more thing that I want to talk about, and that is when you start healing. And Bill, my husband there, he reminded me of this, that when you start kind of laughing, and you're thinking about them and you're smiling again, and you're thinking about, or you're talking and saying, do you remember that time that, you know, and you're laughing about it. Or maybe I'm making Christmas cookies with my daughters and I'm saying, well, you know, my mom, she used to love making these date squares and I didn't really like them and they were all in coconut and all this sort of thing, but we're going to make them anyway and maybe somebody might like them. Or you're making a Thanksgiving dinner or an Easter dinner and you're remembering that your mom used to do this, or, you know, your mother-in-law used to do that, or your brother used to make you laugh. And my brother used to call me Hez. I don't know where I do know where he got it. And that is that my teacher in grade 5, she used to call me Hez because her best friend was Heather and she used to call her Hez. And my brother always called me Hez. Hey Hez, how you doing? And he would have the biggest, most wonderful hugs that it would just be so incredible, those hugs. And again, I haven't gone through the mourning stage. I haven't been able to go to a funeral, go to a wake. None of that's going to happen because he's going to have about 300 friends there. And so I know I'm going off on a tangent, but we're just talking here. I'm just talking to you like a girlfriend. And, you know, maybe at this point, I'll just leave it there, because it is something that you go through on your own. Maybe, as I said, there's something here for you to learn by, but almost everyone here in this community, I am sure, has lost somebody very dear to their heart. I also feel that a lot of you have lost somebody just recently. So let's share it in the comments. You know, I've told you my story. Let's share it in the comments. Let's be there for each other and be strength. we're getting older, but we got to go through all of this. We have to go through all of these different stages in our lives, and it's not all lollipops and roses. It's not all about how I'm looking to be awesome, what I'm wearing to feel awesome, what my makeup is like to feel awesome, what my hair is like to feel awesome. It's also how I'm getting through this and how I can get through this, live another day, and maybe eventually help someone. And as far as I'm concerned, that's really a way to be awesome.